I worked as a WAF analyst. WAF stands for Web Application Firewall. So I applied to computer science as well as data science. I shortlisted universities, like these are the universities that I want to go. Score, GRE score, statement of purpose, and 2 or 3 letters of recommendation. Way to get the scholarships is a good resume, a good profile, a good GRE score. You book the visa slot, you'll book it for 2 days. I mean, it will prompt you to book it for 2 days. The first one is the biometrics, where you go and just put your fingerprints, they take your photographs and all. And the second day is the visa interview.
So, hi Akshay, welcome to the channel. Can you give a quick introduction about yourself?
Yes, sure. Hi, Avinash. So my name is Akshay. I did my undergrad in computer science from Kelly Technological University, and then I started working at ACL Digital for the past 2 years. And I worked as a WAF analyst. WAF stands for Web Application Firewall. It was a networking company. And I worked remotely for 2 years during COVID time. And after that, I applied to University of Texas at Dallas. I thought of doing my master's. The major was business analytics, and right now I am almost completing my master's, and I'm doing my job right now. So yeah, that's all about myself.
So, how did you get your first job, Akshay, if I may ask you?
Yes. So it was all placements, as you know. You were also from the same college, so we were all like applying, not applying. We were all sitting for placements, clearing all the aptitude rounds, HR round and all. So I didn't get lucky in during the first phase of the placements, because I didn't get placed in any of the companies. But later on, I got placed into ACL Digital, which is a networking company, and it came during August, I guess. So that is how I got placed, and it was a good company. It was fun working with them.
Okay, so what was your exact role and what was your package at that company?
Yes. So my package at that time was 5 lakhs, and my role was termed as WAF analyst. So WAF stands for Web Application Firewall. So basically, I worked on firewalls, which sits in between your network and your application. So all the firewall related things, like we have something called as Windows firewall, and the firewall that I worked on is called AppWall. It used to protect against all the threats, malicious activities, botnets and all. So that was my work.
Okay, so Akshay, when did you decide that you want to do masters?
Okay, so I started working during COVID time. Just before the start of COVID time, and for 2 straight years I worked from home. I didn't even go to office. So I used to keep on working, and I used to get it was basically a startup where I used to also work as a developer as well as a QA. So I used to do both the works, oscillate between dev and QA. So later on, at like I think 1.5 years down the line, I started that this is getting boring, and I thought of switching companies, that like everyone does this. So I had two options in mind: switching the companies, as well as work going abroad and studying masters. So I was also skeptical of doing what major should I pursue. So also I was working during the same time I was working on a project which was related to network data, and I thought I should go in this field. So that is when I thought, like, doing masters would be a great option for me, since I was also not getting into a lot of companies because it was COVID time and not a lot of them were hiring. So that was the time when I thought I'll do masters, and I decided that this was the path that I wanted to go.
So, how did you decide? Like, many people will be skeptical initially that what subject to choose in there. Like, basically, did you have any interest in your computer science when you were doing your bachelor's, that I want to do masters in such a field, or after doing your job, you decided that okay, this field is something I want to explore and to pursue masters in that?
Since I had my bachelor's in computer science, so first thing was I wanted to do my master's in computer science only, and also there was another option for me that was data science. Okay, so there are like masters in data science is like one of the hot things right now. Like,
Yeah.
everyone, you ask anyone who's doing masters in data science. So those were the two options. But also, the honestly, computer science is very difficult to get into. because you have to be very good at, they take interviews right now just to get into masters. So you have to have a very good profile. Your work experience matters for computer science. So I applied to computer science as well as data science. I was open. I went with open mind. Like, I was ready to do both. But during my work experience, I worked on like a couple of projects related to data, and that, I was a bit inclined towards data science. So that is how I decided, like, I wanted to do data science.
Okay, so Akshay, can you explain the complete entire process of how did you start, or how did you think of applying to masters in US especially?
Yes. So firstly, I had a couple of cousins who work over there, and also who had studied earlier, but they had done it like 5 6 years ago. So the process had changed a bit. So the first thing was, I started, looking for YouTube videos, like how to apply for that. I also, in parallel, I contacted my seniors or someone through LinkedIn. So I shortlisted universities, like these are the universities that I want to go. So also, shortlisting universities doesn't mean that you directly go to Stanford or Harvard just like by applying, because the acceptance rate, there's something called as acceptance rate, which is like number of people that get apply and number of people get into the ratio.
Okay.
Okay. So for example, for Harvard, it is like 3.6%. So
Hmm.
out of 100. So it is very difficult to get into. And so one of my seniors had told that you have to get into universities which have acceptance rate of around 45 to 50%, so that you'll have a very good chance to get into that. So I started shortlisting for universities. So I shortlisted like 5 to 7 of them. Okay. And also, in parallel, just to apply to those universities, you will need scores. So the scores are IELTS score, GRE score, and GMAT. Okay, GMAT slash GRE, IELTS slash TOEFL.
Okay.
Okay. So those are the two main scores that you need. For MBA, it's mainly GMAT and IELTS. It's like that. And if you want to go abroad, it does the like you should have an international English language score test. I mean, you should have a score for that. Okay, so the thing is, parallelly started searching for universities that I want to go into, and also started studying for IELTS, GRE, and IELTS and GRE. Okay, so but during the COVID time, it was such that the GRE was waived off. So I did not give my GRE. So I directly gave my IELTS and other documents. I got into the universities. But right now, I think it's post COVID era. There is the GRE is required.
Okay.
Okay. So coming back to the process, so you keep on shortlisting the universities that you want to apply to, and you also give the exams that you want. So that is GRE and IELTS. And apart from that, while applying to universities, you will also need a statement of purpose. So if I were to define the statement of purpose, it is basically an essay which will tell the university as why do you want to apply to the universities, or why do you want to do that major. So an SOP should be ideally it should be a one page, but it also can be extended to two-page. But also, it's better if you keep it one page. I mean, the university guidelines says that one page is better. Okay, so the SOP is like basically, why do you want to apply to the universities? What have you done? Why are you qualified to get into this major? So basically, your introduction, what have you done in your undergrad, your work experience, and final conclusion. So basically, an essay.
Okay.
Okay. So after IELTS, after GRE, there's SOP, and then comes letter of recommendation. So all the universities that you apply needs 2 or 3 letters of recommendation from your employer, or from someone from your college, or some professor from your college. Okay, so during my case, I got 2 of them from my manager, and one from the professor that I was close with in the university. Okay, so these 4 things, that is IELTS score, GRE score, statement of purpose, and 2 or 3 letters of recommendation.
Okay.
Okay, so you keep those ready, and you go on applying to the universities. So whenever all the universities will have the apply section, you go there, you apply, you enter all your details, you upload the IELTS score, you upload the GRE score, you upload the statement of purpose as well as the letters of recommendation. And also there is a application fee that needs to be paid. uh, I think that's pretty much the entire process. It's like basically applying for a company through LinkedIn.
Okay, okay. So they do have certain scholarships, right? So how do you say that these scholarships are met, and what is the minimum criteria, or how to apply to this scholarships?
Scholarships are mainly guaranteed through GRE scores. So a lot of people, like even I did not give my GRE, so I did not get my scholarship in the first semester. I later got it, but scholarships, the main way to get the scholarships is a good resume, a good profile, a good GRE score. You having a very good GRE score will for sure guarantee you a scholarship. And the scholarship is defined like, if your fees is $20,000 in the first semester, so it will be totally half.
Okay.
$10,000 is what you have to pay, and 10,000 is waived off. So
Okay.
that is the scholarship, and the main criteria is good GRE score. IELTS score sometimes matters, but not sure. But a GRE score for sure, and also a good profile.
So can you tell me the complete visa process, Akshay?
Yeah, a visa process is something that is very tedious, and you have to do it, or like you can't miss it. I mean, you get the visa or you don't get the visa, and if you don't get it, you have like 2 weeks again. You have to wait for 2 weeks and then apply to a visa again. So basically, if you're going abroad, like for say example, USA, so you have to apply for a F1 visa. F1 visa is a student visa. I don't know how it goes for Australia or Ireland, but for US it is F1 visa. Okay, it's a student visa. So basically, you have your college. So right from the process, you apply to a university, and you get the admit after like 1.5 or 2 weeks. You get the offer letter from them saying that, hey, congratulations, you have been selected as a graduate students for our university. So you get the offer letter from the university. That serves as a proof for applying the visa. Okay. And also, when you apply to a university and get the offer letter, along with that you will get a document called as a I-20. So I-20 is a, like, yeah, it's also a proof saying that you have been admitted to this university. So the I-20 will contain all the start date, your the fees, and how many credit hours that you have enrolled into, that all the information regarding the university and you. Okay, so two things: one is the offer letter, the other one is the I-20. So you getting a visa slot is a bit difficult nowadays, because a lot of people are applying to. It's that you should keep on like visiting the website and checking for dates. Okay, so for the visa interview, there are like, you have to go for 2 days. Okay, the first day is the biometrics. The second day is the like actual interview, where a person from the US embassy will ask you questions regarding your university, why are you applying to, and all. We'll come back to that later. Okay, so you book the visa slot, you'll book it for 2 days. I mean, it will prompt you to book it for 2 days. The first one is the biometrics, where you go and just put your fingerprints, they take your photographs and all. And the second day is the visa interview. So coming back to the second day, so you go there like any of the place. Personally, I went to Chennai for my visa interview. So you go there, stand in the line, and there will be a person from the US embassy. He will basically verify your I-20, the college admit letter, and there are a lot of supporting documents that you have to take. For example, if you have a loan sanction from the bank, so you have to take the loan saying that, hey, I have been granted so and so loan amount. This will serve as the proof of income over there. And there's also, sometimes they might ask you statement of purpose, letter of recommendation, IELTS score, GRE score, the same documents that you had applied already. Okay, also the passport. That's the main thing. Okay, so you go there, the visa interviewer will ask you like, why do you want to get into this university, what is your background, and what prompted you to apply to this major, and all the basic questions. There's like a huge question bank regarding that. And at the end of the process, he will say that your visa is approved or not. Okay, if it's approved, well and good. If it's not, then you have to come back and apply again.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and also there's a fees to apply to the visa. I think it's 7,500 rupees. So there's a fees that needs to be paid in order to book your slot. So after 2 days, after 2 to 3 days, you'll get back your passport with your visa. So booking a slot is a bit difficult, but going there and getting your biometrics and getting your interview, you should be good with that. Yep.
Okay, so can you tell me the fee structure which is there initially when you get the admission right to the university? How is it like? How do you pay it initially? How is the fee structure and overall things?
So the fee structure differs from university to university, and also it depends on the particular course. For example, in my first semester, I had taken 4 courses. Okay, for 4 courses, it came around like 16 lakh rupees. 16 lakh rupees, and if I had taken 3 subjects, it would come around like 14 lakh rupees. So it purely depends on the subject. You take more subjects, your fees is a bit high. If you take less subjects, it's a bit low. But there's also one thing that if you take 5 subjects, the sixth subject will be free. So if for the people who want to complete their masters very early, or who want to do it very quickly, they take like 6 7 subjects in one semester, which it also will be a bit hectic, but they'll get 2 to 3 subjects for free. So any subjects, the number of subjects you take above 5 will be free. So it is like that. And when it comes to fee payment, so you could like do a couple of things. So the first thing is Flywire. Flywire is something which is called as the international wire transfer. You can transfer your money from an Indian bank account to the US bank account. Okay. So that is the first preferred thing that everybody does. There is some, you go to your bank in India, tell them that you need your education loan transferred to your US university or the college, and they will do it for you. It's called as Flywire. And the other thing is loading the money into your forex account, and then from the forex account to your college. So that is how it works, but that is a bit risky because there is certain limit that a forex card or the bank allows. So I think the second option is a bit difficult, but the first option, it's called Flywire. So all of the banks do that, and they transfer money internationally.
Okay. So, Akshay, is there any credit limit to apply to certain universities? Because as we both are from the same college, we had certain credits like we had, it was limited to 176. But few of the German colleges, there is a certain criteria that it should be above 200. Like, is there any criteria for US universities as well?
I don't think so. I mean, what do you mean by credit limits? I mean, 136. You mean we could only take 136?
Like, it was the number of credits which was associated to that subject, right? Based on you qualify or clear that exam, that many credits per semester we used to get allotted, right?
Oh, okay, okay. Got it. Yeah, I had heard someone talking about this. So no, there is no such thing as credit limits as far as I know, because I have never faced such thing, because they won't check any credits that you have taken in your undergrad or bachelor's. They just want the degree certificate saying that you have completed your bachelor's. That's it. And also the official transcript.
So tell me, Akshay, doing masters, how is it going to be beneficiary for one's career?
Yes. So the first thing that when I like when someone says I want to do masters is, they have they want to change in their life, or they want to change the way that they work. The second thing is they want to earn higher and higher, because the pay scale, when you compare like with India, is relatively higher over there. So those are the main two things. And I have seen a lot of people. I mean, I just started my job, and I'm yet to join, but I've seen a lot of people who have got really good success when they completed their masters or something like that. And there are also a couple of my seniors who have done like 3 4 years of job, and have come back and have a really good position over here. So I think that has the doing masters has really helped them, because the kind of curriculum that they have, when compared to here is really not difficult, it's really different, because there you have to do like 5 to 6 projects in like 3 to 4 semesters, which will be really helpful to you when you go into the world of technology, IT, or like when you go to work. That experience will be really helpful. So that in turn will help you with your career. That is what I feel.
Okay.
Okay, so what do you suggest people start doing, Akshay? Like directly after bachelor's doing masters, or having some sort of job experience and then doing masters?
So to be honest, I have seen people like from both the worlds. People who don't have any experience, they are just graduates and they have come to the university to pursue masters. And also I've seen people with 5 to 6 years of experience who are doing masters with me. I mean, I have in my class only, I have seen people, I have seen both kinds of people. Usually when I first went over there, I talk to everyone. Hey, you have so much experience. I have just 2 years of experience. Will that be difficult for me? But personally, I'll tell you that that doesn't matter. I mean, as long as you have the skills and you have the projects done, and you can explain, you show them that you are capable of doing that. That is fine, because there's one friend of mine who has 7 years of experience. He still hasn't got internship. But there's another friend of mine who just is fresh out of college, who has a job right now. Yeah. Also, I would suggest that people can get some experience, like in form of internship or anything of that sort. Because for me, when I was being interviewed, they used to they the first thing that they asked me was, tell me about yourself, and the next thing was, what did you work in India, like how what was your work experience back in India. So that is what they had asked. So if people ask me and I don't have any experience, I should be able to convey them that, hey, I have so and so skill set, or I have done such internship or something like that. Because that will be really helpful. But also, on the other hand, if you don't have a work experience, you could also tell them about your projects that you have done. Convey them that you have used this in your project or something like that. Because that way, they will come to that, okay, you have some skill set or something that you can work on. So yeah, having experience is better, but having no experience is also fine, as long as you can show your skill set or something like that. Because there are all sorts of people who come to do masters, so that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So my last question to you, Akshay, is that does a person who is doing masters have any kind of a prior knowledge of the subject, or just because he is interested in the subject, he should explore that? Because we have seen people switching from one domain to another domain just because they are interested, right? So because this masters is like a one time, you cannot again go back to your normal day life. So what do you say to these people?
So to be honest, if I give example from my class only, I have one friend of mine who is from commerce background, and she is doing data science now.
Okay.
And she was in the beginning, she was very afraid that how will I cope up with this, because I have no background in this. Because it will be difficult for her. So she initially she faced a bit of difficulties, but then she just because she was interested, she learned all the basic things that are needed, prerequisites or something like that. And now she's doing really good. So I think that if you don't have a background in data science, even for me, I don't have a pure background in data science, because I had done a couple of projects in that, but I was inclined towards that. That doesn't, having no experience doesn't stop me from applying to that, or learning from that. So what I would suggest is, if someone is from a mechanical background, architecture background, or he wants to do anything in data science, it is purely doable. Because it's just a matter of some courses or some prerequisite courses that you need to do, and then you will just catch up and fly. So I think that that would be a very honest suggestion that I would like to give. And having experience is better, having experiences in that background is better. But if you don't have a experience, you can always learn it. It is not difficult. And because there are a lot of people who come from a very different background, and they try to pursue that, and they also succeed.
Okay. So thank you so much, Akshay, for your time. I think this was my one of my very few podcasts wherein I got this many information regarding getting into abroad, because nowadays we hardly see any videos where there is any people telling about how to get a master, how to do masters in US or something. So that's it, folks, for today's podcast. And if you have any queries, please leave your query in the comment section, and we will be there more than to help you. Thank you, Akshay. Thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you, Avinash, and also thank you for doing this video, because during my time also I searched a lot of videos on how to apply, but I could only find some of them. But this will be really helpful. Also, you could give them some links which will help them to know better.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.